Yun Xiao treats Meng Wu and later heads to meet Dingling where they talk in length about Mount Meru's opening. The reincarnated soul then makes his way to the Supreme High Palace, extorting quite a bit of primordial stones from the families, who try to oppose him there. Afterward, Yun Xiao gains control over a second divine scripture. Dealing with the returning Qizun Zi, the boy finally meets with the Thunder Wind Commerce Guild Guildmaster to repair the Green Phoenix battleship. The Thunder Wind Commerce Guild Guildmaster, Shan Guan Tai, screams out, questioning if Yun Xiao is really behind the Star Mansion's sex extermination. Simply smiling in response, the boy wonders if that information will change anything for his guild. Guan Tai catches Yun Xiao's drift and apologizes for his reaction, remarking that he's just surprised. After all, most of the entire Heaven Sent Empire, as well as the southern region, is wrongfully blaming the three great sects for the incident. Implying that there's no need to worry about such things, Yun Xiao moves the conversation along and inquires about the price of the repairs. Since fixing a Green Phoenix battleship is quite a daunting task, Guan Tai requests 1 million middle-tier primordial stones and a 1-month time frame. Money is no problem for the reincarnated soul, but he does worry if waiting that long is possible, considering Mount Meru is about to open soon. Elaborating further, Guan Tai remarks that the time is just an estimate, since repairing a Green Phoenix battleship would require the use of transportation grand arrays, sending it to either the Thunder Wind Commerce Guild HQ or to their deity Transformation C branch. He can place the order on the high priority list to finish it ASAP though, only if Yun Xiao pays up. Of course, the boy instantly brings out a bag of exactly 1 million primordial stones and hands it to Guan Tai. Richie Rich would be proud. After confirming that the amount is all there, the geezer brings out a mysterious blue ball to take the ship away. Zipping through the air, the Shuan artifact starts spinning around wildly and erupts, turning into a massive sheet that wraps around the Green Phoenix battleship until it can't be seen. Suddenly, Guan Tai's mechanical left hand appears in the sky to grab it away. When all is said and done, the old man ends up holding a miniature wrapped-up Green Phoenix battleship in his hands. Witnessing this trick, Yun Xiao starts clapping and compliments the mysterious guild master for almost surprising him. Putting away the item, Guan Tai chuckles and thanks the boy for his kind words. As the geezer heads off, Yun Xiao announces that he will be waiting on the island for him to come back. Sometime later, at the Thunder Wind Commerce Guild's Verdancy Port branch, Guan Tai's assistant informs him that the men he asked for have all arrived, belonging to either the Dusk Flame or the Wood Dawn Empire, and not from the Heaven Sent Empire. Surprised that they came so soon, the geezer orders the underling to take him there. On the way, the latter informs the former that Mount Meru's impending opening is causing many smaller sects to get wiped out by larger ones. Since their martial artists are left with no place to go, they end up becoming roaming cultivators. However, Guan Tai isn't surprised. After all, Mount Meru's descent is a grand occurrence that last happened over a century ago. If the age restriction weren't a thing, even a holy region's laws could have stopped the other region's superpowers from taking Mount Meru for themselves. Soon, the two arrive at the gathering of martial artists. Observing them closely, a martial lord catches Guan Tai's attention. Approaching him, the geezer inquires about his identity, finding out that everyone's favorite character has returned yet again. The martial lord is none other than the Dusk Flame Empire's beloved cockroach, Li Yi. More plot armor than the MC is crazy. 2 weeks pass after Yun Xiao starts waiting on the island for the Green Phoenix battleship to get repaired. Within that time, he ends up using all of Qizun Zi's primordial stones. Still wanting more, Yun Xiao then brazenly threatens some others for 200,000 of their primordial stones. Qian Duo gets reminded that he's being allowed to stay in the World God Monument, so it's only natural for there to be a cost. On the other hand, Duan Yue is forced to remember that he still needs Hao Lian Xiao Huan's blood to remove his seal. To top it all off, Yun Xiao threatens to make the two powerless and throw them to entertain the lonely 1,000+ men inside the World God Monument. Bro wants them to drop their soaps. Despite this shamelessness though, Yun Xiao only manages to reach peak 3-star martial lord, not advancing by a single star even after 300,000 primordial stones in total. Finally, Guan Tai returns to the island. Seeing Yun Xiao's progress, the old man begins complimenting him for being a genius, who believe the prodigies of prestigious families in the dust with his cultivation speed, unaware that he is unsatisfied. Guan Tai notes that getting a place in Mount Meru shouldn't be a problem with Yun Xiao's strength, but he neither confirms nor denies. The reincarnated soul understands that as only those from the southern region can enter, Guan Tai is trying to pry for his background and calls him out. Of course, the geezer quickly apologizes, since doing such a thing is deeply frowned upon within the Thunder Wind Commerce Guild. Requesting Yun Xiao not to use this as a complaint, Guan Tai brings out the blue ball from earlier and throws it into the sky. Once again, the Yuan artifact erupts, turning into a sheet. From within it, the Green Phoenix battleship emerges in all its glory. Guan Tai reveals that along with the repairs, the Thunder Wind Commerce Guild has also removed all labels and markings left on the ship by any previous owners, making it practically brand new. Yun Xiao quickly jumps up onto the Green Phoenix battleship and unleashes his universal detect to confirm the claim. Lo and behold, the countless physical damages, as well as the hundreds of arrays, have all been fixed, making one question: if the ship was ever even broken. Finishing the examination, the reincarnated soul jumps back down and praises the Thunder Wind Commerce Guild for being as trustable as always. After letting himself be praised, Guan Tai questions if there was anyone else who tried to repair the ship before them. Yun Xiao wonders why he is asking, getting told that the refiners who worked together to repair the Green Phoenix battleship wanted to know. Turns out, the traces of repairs were so incredibly brilliant that they received universal praise from even the best of the best. Guan Tai assures Yun Xiao that this isn't prying but an official query, meaning he can openly decide whether or not to answer it. At the same time, the geezer stalks the boy's face like a hawk to catch any sliver of expression, any ounce of feeling on it. Meanwhile, Yun Xiao doesn't even try to look innocent. Making the most absurd face of innocence, he feigns complete ignorance and continues to do so when Guan Tai credits the repairs to someone from the Star Mansion sect. This dude really lying for no reason at all, because he damn sure isn't getting an Oscar for this horrid acting. Ahem, exclaims the geezer loudly, desperately wanting to move things along. Guan Tai asks Yun Xiao if he would be interested in making a deal with him. With a grin across his face, the reincarnated soul questions if this deal will be between them, or if the Thunder Wind Commerce Guild is involved too. Taken aback by Yun Xiao's slyness, Guan Tai declares that it's all the same thing anyway, that includes the guild too, hoping that it would make him interested in the deal. The boy finally comes around and inquires about the details. Guan Tai then reveals that Mount Meru will be opening in around 40 days, as per the superpower's calculations, with its expected descent being somewhere near Tianshui. This intrigues Yun Xiao, as it would mean that Martial Flame City is the most likely place for the Mystic Realm's descent. As for Guan Tai's task for Yun Xiao, he wants him to retrieve just a single item from Mount Meru, making the reincarnated soul wonder just what could possibly make the Thunder Wind Commerce Guild hire someone to find it. Insisting that the item's location is only a calculated guess from a trustworthy guild member, Guan Tai declares that no one truly knows the situation inside Mount Meru. In the same breath, he pulls out a map of sorts, detailing the entire landscape of the place. On it, a certain marking catches Yun Xiao's eyes, alerting him. He asks Guan Tai if revealing the exact nature of the item is really not possible, getting told that he will find out what it is upon entering the Mystic Realm. However, the guild master does reveal an important piece of information. Born inside Mount Meru, this mysterious treasure was once taken out by someone, only to get lost a few years later. Now, the Thunder Wind Commerce Guild's members conclude that it must have returned to its place of origin. Handing Yun Xiao the map, Guan Tai announces 10 million middle-tier primordial stones as payment for successfully completing the task. Suddenly, Yun Xiao lets out a gentle smile, proclaiming that this retrieval mission is neither from the geezer nor the Thunder Wind Commerce Guild. Instead, it's commissioned from someone else entirely. Left in disbelief, Guan Tai questions why the boy is saying such a thing. With a wide-eyed grin, Yun Xiao reveals that the map is sketched in the art style of one of his old friends. Ecstatic to find out that he has hidden himself in the southern region, the reincarnated soul wonders if Guan Tai would be kind enough to disclose his whereabouts, leaving the geezer's jaw dropped. Marching toward the guild master, Yun Xiao presses him for his old friend's whereabouts. Although he doesn't know the identity of the map drawer himself, Guan Tai already thinks that he is an extremely mysterious person, possessing no yuan qi fluctuations, The green-haired man seems like a normal person through and through, even down to the wooden guqin he carries around. However, what's weird is the fact that he gave Guan Tai's forces 1,000,000 high-tier primordial stones, worth 100 million middle-tier ones, without any thought, just for taking the mission. This information soon reached the Thunder Wind Commerce Guild's headquarters, prompting them to issue an immediate order. No one is to offend the mysterious person no matter what, and his mission is to be completed using any means necessary. For such an enigmatic being to be an old friend of a boy, Guan Tai doesn't believe that for a second. So he apologizes to Yun Xiao, declaring that the Thunder Wind Commerce Guild cannot reveal a customer's personal information. Of course, the reincarnated soul gives him a bit of encouragement to break that rule by questioning if the mysterious person carries around a common wooden guqin all the time. Completely panicking, Guan Tai pulls back his hood and shouts that he can't answer such a query, but realizes that it's too little too late. Still, the geezer tries to get Yun Xiao off his case, even resorting to getting some sympathy points from him. Womp womp. Finally, the reincarnated soul changes the query to why he was chosen for the task. Guan Tai reveals that it was nothing but a spontaneous decision, since the Thunder Wind Commerce Guild doesn't have any secret force raised in the southern region. So, they couldn't find suitable people for Mount Meru's opening and tried recruiting young martial artists, but they weren't capable enough. On the other hand, Yun Xiao gave Guan Tai a completely different feeling. The former questions why that is, as a decent amount of money would have helped him find a martial king-level youth anyway. Guan Tai explains that it is simply because the southern region is a backward place, so acquiring someone who was talented enough to become a martial king before the age of 50 would only attract unnecessary attention. Accepting this as a decent enough response, Yun Xiao decides to accept the mission, but leaves its success up to fate. At the same time, he brings out the World God Monument to have it interact with the Green Phoenix battleship. While Guan Tai is captivated by the treasure, the boy once again questions if the time and location of Mount Meru's landing are confirmed, getting told that they shouldn't be far off from the earlier deduction. 3 days later, Yun Xiao arrives at High Sun City. Floating on the water ball he got from the Blazefish tribe, the reincarnated soul reaches the Zhou family's heavily guarded estate. Without delay, he starts shouting loudly, announcing himself as the Martial Flame City Lord. Yun Xiao calls out the trash who kidnapped Princess Qin Rushue, Zhou Yushan, reminding him of their agreed-upon match. The boy provokes his enemy, declaring that he can just submit to him if he's afraid to die. Yun Xiao's voice echoes throughout the city, leaving everyone in shock. Turns out, a martial law has been imposed in High Sun City after the Xingyang family's demise. For someone to challenge the four great families again after only 2 days of peace is an utterly baffling situation, especially when the deceased ruins haven't even been cleared. The blatant provocation makes people question if the Zhou family will meet the same fate as well. Meanwhile, Dingling, Er, and Yurong peek out from the Tianyuan Commerce Guild's Dusk Flame Empire branch. The geezer can't believe that Yun Xiao is confronting the Zhou family directly, while the girl deems him to be crazy, realizing that his earlier joke about regretting not causing a greater fuss wasn't a joke at all. Yun Xiao's voice also reaches the Wang family's estate, shocking Yang Di's disciple, Wang Chun. Wish we had seen what happened when he told his master about Gu Fei Yang's painting calling him a donkey. Of course, the roaring proclamation makes its way to the Dusk Flame Empire's imperial palace as well. While feeding a rabbit to his pet crocodiles, the court prince Xin Ruyu wonders if Yun Xiao fears death at all and remarks that he's a fool for thinking that a martial emperor's backing can help him against the four great noble families, being under the impression that he was the one who let Yun Xiao off at the auction. Xin Ruyu vows to teach him an unforgettable lesson the next time they meet. Meanwhile, at the imperial family shrine, the three martial emperors Zhu Jin, Sten Pi, and Ao Di Jia worry that the Dusk Flame Empire's nobility won't have any dignity left if the Zhou family is challenged like this. Back over with Yun Xiao, Elder Zhou Bo arrives to meet him. Furious, the geezer demands that the boy reveal his identity, only to get told to stop acting dumb. After all, the entire city just heard Yun Xiao's name, so for him to ask us a question only shows that the Zhou family is truly shameless. Taken aback by the response, the elder tries to talk down on the reincarnated soul for being a mere brat who can't afford to offend the legendary Zhou family. With a calm smile across his face, Yun Xiao asked Zhou Bo if his family's status is truly unparalleled and lords over other forces in the Dusk Flame Empire. As the elder doubles down on his statement, the other martial artists in High Sun City turn on him. Some declare the Zhou family an embarrassment on the name of the four great noble families, announcing that it's about time to reorganize their position a bit. Others, well, they are offended that Zhou Bo said that his family is above all others, considering the imperial family and the heaven-gathering sect are far more than what they will ever be. Infuriated, the elder commands everyone to shut up and stop spouting BS. Zhou Bo insists that he meant that they are above the vast majority of forces, not all, but it's too late for damage control. In fact, the martial artists take personal offense this time and name their families to question, if he meant their families. Somehow instantly zooming past all the guards, Yun Xiao trolls Zhou Bo a bit more, telling him to give a few examples of the vast majority of forces he is talking about. Nah, this dude is an absolute menace. While the elder worries for his life, 3 expert martial artists appear to take care of the situation. Zhou Yanbiao, the current family head, leads the conversation and patronizes Yun Xiao for challenging them. The reincarnated soul tells Yan Biao that he made a life and death bet with Zhou Yushan, so he's really just there to keep his promise. Yu Xiao declares that the family head acting like this is treating their oath like a joke, riling him up. Bursting with wild energy, Yan Biao reminds the boy that the bet with his son is still a month later at the Dark Gold Arena. Standing his ground, Yu Xiao proclaims that the Zhou family will keep delaying the battle, however they please, and that Yushan will come out to fight right now, if he's not a wimp, at least. The other martial artists rally behind the reincarnated soul, backing his provocation with their wild remarks, making fun of the Zhou family. This finally pushes Yan Biao over the edge, and he lets out a roaring cry, proclaiming that Yun Xiao is courting death. His shout sends intense shockwaves in the boy's direction, causing the onlookers to fall down like dominoes. A full-power roar from the 9-star martial grandmaster convinces some that the Zhou family really lords over everyone else like the elder claimed, while others turn against him even more. They deem Yan Biao to be an embarrassment for breaking an oath and silencing the person who he made it with. The family head grits his teeth in annoyance, realizing that people from the other 3 great noble families are in the crowd, exploiting this opportunity to make fun of them. Looking on, the crown prince is irritated as well. Senru, you would have looked the other way if this was a fight between noble families, but an outsider laughing at his empire's system is something he refuses to allow. Back over with Yun Xiao, the aftermath of Yan Biao's assault leaves him holding his chest in agony, suddenly back flipping to the ground. The boy starts coughing ferociously. With an Oscar-worthy performance, Yun Xiao calls out the Zhou family for ruling with an iron fist and praises the incredible martial technique for leaving him with grave internal injuries. Looking like he is about to plop over at any moment, the reincarnated soul insists that he won't be able to compete with Yushan in this state, but wants to breathe his last on the battlefield. So if the Zhou family still has a martial artist's dignity, they will call the young lord out to fight him to the death. Realizing that he is being played, Yan Biao starts trembling with rage. However, he is forced to calm himself when the onlookers start piling on him. Understanding that every move he makes will affect the Zhou family's reputation, Yan Biao takes what he thinks is the best course of action. The family head announces that it's impossible for Yushan to come out instantly, since he's secluded in cultivation, but will fight Yun Xiao to the death in 7 days after breaking the seal. Moreover, to make up for injuring the boy with his sound attack, Yan Biao hands him a holy 4th-tier recovery medicine that might even help him break another breakthrough. Grabbing the gift, Yun Xiao lets out a sinister smirk. What is he cooking? The family head looks on with a poker face, all the while boiling with anger inside. After Mount Meru's opening, he vows to exact his revenge by utterly decimating Li Yun Xiao and his beloved martial flame city. Holding the holy 4th-tier recovery medicine in his hands, a devious light bulb suddenly goes off in Yun Xiao's head. Not feeling comfortable accepting the item, the reincarnated soul announces that it wants Yan Biao to take it back and exchange an equal amount of primordial stones, if he truly means his words. The head of the Zhou family insists that he won't try to take his life in such a manner, prompting Yun Xiao to remind him of the earlier sound attack. As Yan Biao rages out, the reincarnated soul starts parading the item around in the crowd, asking if any refiners could help him check the medicine for poison. Getting accused of resorting to such underhanded means, the family head almost explodes with anger. After all, no one has dared to humiliate them like this in the past millennium. Right then, Bai Li Gongjin steps up to take a look at the holy 4th tier recovery medicine. Being a 6th tier refiner, he is the legendary master of the Dusk Flame Empire Alchemist Association branch. Yun Xiao intently observes the strong soul power fluctuations around him, concluding that he is definitely the real deal. Yan Biao arrives before Master Bai Li as a sign of respect as well, thanking him for helping with their dispute. Du thinks he's part of the team, declaring that it's no problem. The 6th tier refiner turns his attention to Yun Xiao, having heard many great things about him from Yuan Hao. At first, he didn't believe the elder, but the boy's showcase today exceeded his expectations entirely. Yun Xiao humbly thanks Bai Li Gongjin for his kind words, and Yan Biao is left baffled by the interaction. Swiftly stepping up, he practically begs the 6th tier refiner to take a look at the medicine and clear the Zhou family's name. Gongjin closely examines the item and its chi fluctuations, confirming it as a high-grade 4th tier medicine. Thanking the master for his help, Yan Biao starts screaming at the reincarnated soul. He insists that the Zhou family, who has been in the Dusk Flame Empire for over 10,000 years, would never break their oath like this. The family head orders Yun Xiao to head back and recover, vowing to have Yushan teach him an unforgettable lesson in their upcoming duel. This series of events turns the crowd on the boy, leaving them thinking that he pulled such a stunt because he was scared. Yu Rong and Ding Ling arrive at the scene in the meantime, worrying about Yun Xiao's reputation. At the same time, some in the crowd notice that Bai Li Gongjin hasn't stopped staring at the medicine. Suddenly, the 6th tier refiner announces that the pills are poisonous, turning Yang Biao's whole world upside down. The countless martial artists scream out, unable to believe that the Zhou family would do something like this. Some question if Yun Xiao poisoned the medicine himself, but this notion is quickly denied. After all, countless martial artists stronger than him are in the crowd, so they would have noticed if a martial lord made any suspicious movements. Who's gonna tell him? With the Zhou family's entire dynasty on the line, Yan Biao desperately asks Bai Li Gongjin if he really checked the item properly. The latter tells the former to try one for himself if he still has any doubts, prompting Yan Biao to call for the 7th elder to try out the pill. Taken aback at first, Zhou Bo instantly understands what the family head is scheming. If Bai Li Gongjin says the pill is poisonous, then it most definitely is. However, they can falsely prove their innocence if the 7th elder uses his true chi as a peak 9 star martial grandmaster to suppress the poison, playing the crowd and acting like it's impossible for high-grade 4th tier medicine to be poisoned. Zhou Bo confidently consumes a pill. The top 10 moments before disaster list just gained its number 1 entry. After all, not many poisons can harm someone on the verge of becoming a martial emperor. Using true chi embalming, he makes a barrier around his Dan Tian to protect it from getting poisoned. Yang Biao and Zhou Bo then exchange nods, feeling relieved that a matter concerning the Zhou family's millennium-long legacy has finally settled in their favor. With a proud grin, Yan Biao turns to Yun Xiao, boasting about his innocence being proven. The benevolent head declares that defaming the Zhou family would have been an unforgivable crime had it not been for the boy's upcoming battle with Yushan, and decides to spare his life for now. However, he refuses to settle things like this and demands at least 5 million middle-tier primordial stones as an apology if Yun Xiao wants to leave with his life intact. Right then, the reincarnated soul starts smiling while the rest of the crowd stares elsewhere in disbelief. As Yun Xiao whispers that he brought it upon himself, Yan Biao looks to his side, only to see the 7th elder on his knees, writhing in agony. Moments later, Zhou Bo's entire body turns green. The peak 9-star martial grandmaster goes out vomiting poison, leaving the world in a truly gruesome manner. Everyone looks on in disbelief while Yan Biao is left mourning for the 7th elder. Well, if it isn't the consequences of your own actions. Witnessing the scene from the sky, the 3 martial emperors break out into a sweat, seeing Zhou Bo fall flat on his face without getting a chance to say anything leaves the trio questioning the extreme nature of the poison, as he was the strongest one around below them until moments ago. While Zhu Jin imagines what the poison would do to martial emperors, Ao Di Jia worries that something mysterious is up with Yun Xiao and suggests capturing him for interrogation. However, the former defends the boy, questioning if the latter saw him spiking the medicine, which he didn't. Ao Di Jia questions if Zhu Jin thinks the Zhou family or Bai Li Gongjin spiked it then. all the while piling on him for helping the kid's case, just because he got something from him. Zhu Jin rages out at the Baldy for trying to pin this on him over a puzzle piece of an array, and reiterates that a martial lord wouldn't have been able to spike the medicine without 3 martial emperors noticing him. In fact, he asked their boss Simpi to weigh in, who declares that he didn't see it either. However, Simpi also maintains that the Zhou family didn't spike the medicine, as they neither possess such extreme poison, nor would they have risked the life of a core elder like Zhou Bo, who was going to be a martial emperor soon. Unfortunately, that puts the suspicion on Bai Li Gongjin instead, an idea that the trio doesn't even dare entertain. Old man got that aura. Even if all of this circles back to Yun Xiao being the culprit anyway, Simpi questions just how 3 martial emperors couldn't see him spiking the medicine. Moreover, even if they weren't there, at least a few hundred martial artists with cultivation higher than the boy are present in the crowd to catch him. Trying to make sense of the situation makes Simpi's head hurt, and he decides to watch things unfold for now, refusing to believe that there isn't a significant force back in Yun Xiao's gutsy attitude. Meanwhile, Yan Biao explodes with killing intent. Unfazed, the reincarnated soul mocks the family head for taking it upon himself to finish the job the poison couldn't. With rage distorting his very face, Yan Biao announces that Yun Xiao won't leave there alive no matter what. The reincarnated soul claps back, declaring that he wouldn't leave, even if the family head left him, reprimanding Yan Biao for not only going against his values and word, but also resorting to lowly methods, like poison to kill him in broad daylight. Yun Xiao declares that he is ruining the reputation of the 4 great noble families. So, unless the family head has a proper explanation for his lack of faith, justice, and morals, the boy refuses to leave Hai Sun City. Infuriated, Zhou Yang Biao starts laughing like a maniac, declaring that someone like Yun Xiao isn't even qualified to die together with him. Suddenly, something in the sky makes the heavens themselves tremble. Yang Biao and the 3 martial emperors look on in disbelief as the Star Mansion Sect's stolen Green Phoenix battleship appears in Hai Sun City out of nowhere. Ding Ling Er and Yu Rong wonder if their eyes are deceiving them, while Wang Chun wonders just how many more surprises his young master Yun is hiding from him. Bai Li Gongjin is shocked as well, having never thought it possible to see a Green Phoenix battleship in Hai Sun City of all places. The Crown Prince, Ryu, trembles in fear, wondering what kind of a deity Yun Xiao is, refusing to believe that a mere city lord can have such a treasure. Zhou Yang Biao demands to know about the force that sent him there. Pointing his finger to the sky, Yun Xiao mutters a single word, hammer. The people start speculating over its meaning, wondering if the force backing him has that name. Most very confidently assume that Yun Xiao is talking about the Green Phoenix battleship as a metaphorical hammer that will rain down on all those who stand against him. Sherlock got a higher bro for this analysis. Right then, the reincarnated soul puts the speculations to rest by questioning what the hammer his Green Phoenix battleship has to do with Yan Biao. Dude is out here losing aura points just to censor himself for our monetization. That's why we love him. Seeing Yun Xiao not being afraid to challenge the Zhou family at all, the head grits his teeth in a wild rage, vowing to keep both Yun Xiao and his battleship there by force. Suddenly, the sky erupts in a blinding light, revealing 5 imposing figures. Descending onto the estate, their leader questions what the boy can do with the Green Phoenix battleship if he doesn't have the refiners to control it. Proclaiming that no one can touch the Zhou family's tens of thousands of years' worth of foundations and reserves, the man also demands that Yun Xiao leave both his battleship and life behind. All the martial artists present fall to their knees under the presence of these imposing figures, instantly recognizing them as the Zhou family's supreme elders. Being 7 constellations realm martial emperors, they are all the pinnacle of the southern region. However, the Zhou family's supreme elders were supposed in seclusion at the Heavenly Jewel Gate, so if the strongest amongst them bothering with the family's matters, after all this time spells instant death for Yun Xiao, no matter the support he has, does it really go? Meanwhile, the proud Zhou Yan Biao and the other elders instantly kneel, greeting their supreme elders. The family head apologizes for his incompetence, regretting that he brought shame to their name. Right then, the strong among the supreme elders, Zhou Changfa, calls upon Yun Xiao, not knowing his goals or who is behind him. However, what he does know is that no one who has dared to make a fuss in the Zhou family for the past millennia has lived to tell the tale. Continuing to impose his presence on everyone, The benevolent Supreme Leader gives Li Yun Xiao a chance to present the Green Phoenix battleship to them respectfully. After doing so, the boy is to kneel at the side and await further instructions if he wants a chance in his life to be spared. To the surprise of absolutely no one, Li Yun Xiao remains defiant, declaring that Zhou Changfa is thinking too highly of himself. The reincarnated soul lifts his right hand toward the Green Phoenix battleship, unsealing the green array to control his movements. He is more than happy to fulfill the Zhou family's wish and give them the battleship, just not in the way that they would have thought. With Li Yun Xiao's command, the Green Phoenix battleship descends from the sky, tilting completely downwards. Unfazed by the threat, Changfa advises the reincarnated soul not to continue down the wrong path. After all, no matter how strong the battleship, it's just a 6th-tier Xuan artifact that will never defeat the entire Zhou family on its own. On the other hand, the Supreme Elder could kill Li Yun Xiao in an instant. Of course, the boy doesn't really care whether the Green Phoenix battleship can defeat the Zhou family or not. He only knows that they won't be able to breach its defenses instantly, giving his refiners just enough time to crash the Xuan artifact into the Zhou family and blow it up. With a sinister chuckle, Li Yun Xiao rhetorically inquires if Martial Emperor can withstand the full might of a self-destructing Green Phoenix battleship. He also makes sure to tell everyone present that his death won't stop it from crashing into the Zhou family's buildings and blowing up, killing at least thousands no matter what. Mass murder for the win. Realizing that Li Yun Xiao has truly gone crazy, the entire crowd panics and starts to run. Ding Ling shares their sentiment, yet she refuses to listen to Yu Rong's begging to run away, wanting to see the extent of Li Yun Xiao's strength for herself. Witnessing this insanity, Shenru regrets not killing the boy back in Martial Flame City. While Zhou Changfa stands there in shock, Ao Dijia, Zhu Jin, and Xin Pi reveal themselves, wanting to de-escalate the situation and stop this fight before both sides suffer huge losses. The latter two martial emperors practically beg Li Yun Xiao to stop and talk things out with them. This confuses the reincarnated soul, as there's no reason for him to speak to them when Changfa is the one trying to kill him. Li Yun Xiao shouts out, announcing that the entire Zhou family should die with him. Once again telling him to stop, Xin Pi provides his guarantee that Zhou Changfa won't try to kill the boy and promises to be the mediator, so that the matter can be resolved peacefully. In reality, though, the martial emperor is scared out of his wits, considering none of them will survive if the Green Phoenix battleship were to explode. Really? Mutters Li Yun Xiao innocently, leaving Xin Pi baffled with the sudden 180 in his demeanor. Blue do be having this effect on people. Regardless, he promises to live up to his word. Suddenly, the reincarnated soul points over to Zhou Changfa. With the same innocent look, he reminds Xin Pi of the Supreme Elder's earlier words. If he said that no one who makes a fuss with the Zhou family leaves there alive, then won't his not die and cause the Zhou family to lose all its face? Li Yun Xiao seems like a crazed psychopath asking this question, proving that looks aren't deceiving in his case by doubling down. Believing that Changfa can't let him live, the boy gets ready to die together. As he is about to proceed with the Green Phoenix battleship's self-destruction, Zhu Jin begs him to stop. At the same time, Ao Dijia rushes over to the Supreme Elder, wanting him to tell Li Yun Xiao his stand on the matter. Shouting at the boy to stop instantly, Changfa announces that he can make an exception this one time, still bringing the Green Phoenix battleship down, but slowing down its descent. The reincarnated wonders if he is just spouting BS, declaring that rules can be broken anyway. Xin Pi once again vows to be a fair and impartial mediator. As a representative of the imperial family, Zhu Jin also pleads with Li Yun Xiao, remarking that his boss Sten would not joke around with his credibility when High Sun City's entire population is there watching them. Convinced by the martial emperors, Li Yun Xiao decides to believe them just this once and halts the Green Phoenix battleship's descent. Witnessing the sight, Bai Li Gong realizes that the technique used by the boy to communicate with the refiners in the battleship is truly one of its kind. Suddenly, Zhou Changfa appears in front of Li Yun Xiao and seals all of his meridians with an abundance of true qi. The other martial emperors look on, as the Zhou family's Supreme Elder disgraces his own word and rushes to punish Li Yun Xiao for challenging them. With the reincarnated soul restrained, Zhou Changfa gathers his true qi, forming a scythe-like weapon on his left hand. And so, the shameless martial emperor lands a fatal strike by assaulting a helpless martial lord. Slicing Li Yun Xiao part of the surprise attack, Zhou Changfa prepares to kill everyone on the Green Phoenix battleship afterward. However, the reincarnated soul suddenly erupts with a crimson glow. The ghastly energy that enveloped his body, Dubichang Fa's attack starts to spiral, containing itself within a small area. Soon, the martial emperor's chi entirely dissipates, taking with it the legendary defensive talisman that Li Yun Xiao acquired a few episodes earlier. Suddenly, an emerald-like light shines from the Green Phoenix battleship, successfully transporting the boy to safety. Desperate, Zhou Changfa tries to run after him to finish the job, but fails miserably. The scene leaves Zhu Jin and Xin Pi in disbelief, as a talisman that can withstand a strike from a 3-star martial emperor is almost unheard of. While Zhou Changfa rages at Li Yun Xiao for running away, Ding Ling looks on from nearby, having just gotten the shock of her life. With her fists surrounded by a fiery chi, she tries to calm down. After the martial emperor misses his follow-up attack, the girl finally breathes a sigh of relief as if it had connected. The strike would have killed someone who is the Tian Yuan Commerce Guild's only hope, someone who they have gambled everything on. Forgot to mention that you have a crush, lil sis. As the energy around her hand dissipates, Yurong can't believe that Ding Ling almost used the guild's secret technique to save Yun Xiao by force. After all, it would have formally made the great and noble Zhou family their enemy. Meanwhile, the reincarnated soul arrives on the Green Phoenix battleship, celebrating that the ancient soul talisman he exchanged for his beloved 5-line tripod ended up proving useful. Now, since the Zhou family has shown their sincere intentions, Yun Xiao announces that it's time for everyone to die together. As the Green Phoenix battleship continues its descent, Xin Pi scolds Zhou Changfa for sealing all their fates. Still consumed with the thought of killing Yun Xiao, the latter finds the former quite annoying and wants him to shut up. Of course, he doesn't say it loudly. At the same time, Bai Li Gongjin notices that the Green Phoenix battleship is coming down with the legendary 6 Universes stargazing formation and starts to panic. He begs young Master Yun to stop, insisting that they can still talk things out. A 6-tier refiner is dismayed, as the killing formation he is using will kill the entire population of High Sun City. However, Yun Xiao has no intention of falling for false promises again, simply wanting everyone to die together. We stand as psychopathic protagonist. Xin Pi speaks up next, formally swearing not to let anyone hurt so much as a single hair on him if he just stops. In fact, the martial emperor promises to eradicate the Zhou family himself if they hurt the boy again, since Xin Pi belongs to the imperial family and is the master of the shrine. There is no way he won't keep his word, making Zhou Changfa realize that killing Yun Xiao now is no longer possible. "Oh," mutters the reincarnated soul, looking like a devil incarnated. The 6 Universes stargazing formation continues to mature, sending waves of extremely powerful chi toward the Zhou family estate. While the martial emperors burst out into a cold sweat, Yun Xiao looks down on them from the Green Phoenix battleship, questioning if the noble families even value their words. After all, Zhou Changfa was on his high horse just moments ago, completely disrespecting him. However, Xin Pi is now saying that he won't do any of that. Doesn't that mean that anything they say from now on holds no weight? Announcing himself as the current emperor's uncle and the master of the shrine, Xin Pi swears that he always keeps his word, promising to never lie to Yun Xiao. The martial emperor asks him to put away the formation on his battleship so that they can talk. Of course, the boy refuses to do so, since he feels safer this way. Xin Pi questions why Tian Shuoi's prince, Wucheng, is causing trouble in High Sun City, even though he was thriving as the martial flame city lord. This query makes Yun Xiao unhappy, and he makes sure to let old Jizerk Sin know of it. Hearing a mere plebeian referred to address Xin Pi like this, the crown prince gets offended on his behalf and calls out the boy for this disrespect. Someone else got a glazer for once, completely ignoring him. Yun Xiao lets everyone know that he isn't the one causing trouble in High Sun City at all, and is just here to settle the score with the Zhou family, who have done numerous detestable things to anger him. Xin Pi is like a god in High Sun City, above even the emperor himself. So, for a martial lord to address him with such disrespect leaves the martial artists present questioning just who Yun Xiao really is. Meanwhile, Zhou Changfa calls BS, insisting that the boy is the one who made a big deal out of nothing, and is defaming them. Bro really doesn't know when to shut up, reminding the Supreme that the entire Dusk Flame Empire now knows just how trustworthy his family truly is. Yun Xiao remarks that he will just shut up if there's even an ounce of shame left in him. As Zhou Changfa is about to rage out once again, Xin Pi signals him to stop talking and asks the reincarnated soul what he wants to do now. Yun Xiao then puts forward his terms, starting with the demand for the release of Tian Shuoi's princess Qin Ru Shue. Since Zhou Yushan kidnapped her, she is to be properly compensated and apologized to. Next, as the Zhou family has gone back on their word and tried to assassinate Yun Xiao multiple times, they will no longer be allowed to run or put off the duel between Zhou Yushan and him. Hearing this, Changfa starts throwing a tantrum. Denying that they ever put off the battle, he accepts the release of Princess Qin Ru Shue, but refuses any compensation or apology. The Supreme Elder insists that they are doing a big favor, as is by sparing Yun Xiao's life, so any demand on top of that is him overplaying his position. With this, the talks break down. Announcing death for all, the reincarnated soul activates the Green Phoenix battleship's 6 universes stargazing formation, prompting Xin Pi to practically beg him to not go overboard. Yun Xiao disrespectfully declares that he is doing no such thing, considering he is prepared to give up his own life, getting cursed out in front of everyone. Xin Pi realizes that the boy is actually crazed and agrees to his conditions on the Zhou family's behalf. Changfa leaps at him, protesting that submitting to Yun Xiao's demands will ruin their demands. However, Xin Pi isn't having any of it. Refusing to let the Supreme Elder bring High Sun City down with him, the Shrine Master tells him to look around and see if the Zhou family even has any reputation left. Changfa grits his teeth, vowing to crush Yun Xiao one day. Right then, the boy speaks up once again, stating his new conditions that aren't up to bargaining whatsoever. Thank God my mom isn't here to shop. First, the Zhou family is to immediately release Qin Ru Shue. Then, they will provide 5 million middle-tier primordial stones as compensation and issue a public apology to Tian Shuai. On top of that, the Zhou family will give Yun Xiao 50 million middle-tier primordial stones to make up for the 2 times they tried to shamelessly kill him. However, words won't do anymore. The Zhou family has to fulfill his demands immediately if they want him to leave. Otherwise, everyone will die together. Yun Xiao isn't a patient person either, so the Zhou family better hurry up. Even if he wasn't impatient, the 6-universe stargazing formation is incomplete and might just activate on its own if left for too long. Seeing Yun Xiao take advantage of his winning position with such viciousness, Xujin and Ao Di Jia are impressed. They think that even an idiot would agree that so great power is backing Martial Flame City, remaining unaware of the reality of things. Stripped of the power to protest against Yun Xiao, the Zhou family elders tremble with fear and rage. With half their estate destroyed, they finally bring out Princess Qin Ru Shue, and the 6-universe stargazing formation finally dissipates. With her head lowered, Qin Ru Shue emerges from the Zhou family's estate, still in doubt about her freedom. Multiple reaction panels like One Piece follow, after which Yun Xiao finally speaks to her. As someone who always got the vibe of a caring older sister from Qin Ru Shue, he questions why she is crying so much right now. Hearing his voice, the girl readily looks up. Like a true knight in shining armor, Yun Xiao stands atop the Green Phoenix battleship, announcing that he has come for the princess. Seeing him extend his hand to her, Qin Ru Shue's mind overflows with memories of the last time they met when Zhou Yushan kidnapped her and Li Yun Xiao put his life on the line to rescue her. Muttering the boy's name, the princess starts sobbing uncontrollably. She wants him to take her home, no longer wanting to stay with the cruel Zhou family. As Yun Xiao descends from the Green Phoenix battleship, Qin Ru Shue remembers how she felt the entire time she spent in captivity. The poor girl had hoped for Yun Xiao to rescue her many times, but she didn't want to, considering offending the Dusk Flame Empire's 4 great noble families would spell doom for Tian Shuai. Qin Ru Shue was fully convinced that she would remain locked up and get beaten up or even tortured mercilessly for life. However, no one came to touch her after she got thrown into a cellar, all because Yun Xiao exchanged an extremely valuable promise for her safety. Seeing him stand in front of her after all this time, Qin Ru Shue can no longer control herself. She leaps into Yun Xiao's embrace and begins wailing loudly. Bro about that heroic savior Riz, petting her head, the reincarnated soul comforts the princess and proclaims that they are going home. Yun Xiao promises that no one will bully her, and she will have nothing to fear from now on. The boy swears to Qin Ru Shue, if anyone in the Dusk Flame Empire dares to touch even a strand of her hair, he will wipe their entire lineage from existence, making it seem like they never even existed. Putting everyone on alert with his declaration, Yun Xiao returns to the Green Phoenix battleship. Xin Pi is especially shocked as he gets thought of the boy as nothing more than a talented up-and-coming teen. However, the martial emperor now feels a murderous sense of coldness from him. It's almost as if Li Yun Xiao is a landmine, blowing up anyone who makes a single wrong step to bits. Both the Xingyang and Zhou families fell to him, worrying Xin Pi that it might be the royal family next. So he questions if Yun Xiao has any other conditions, asking him to take the ship and leave otherwise. Zhou Changfa rages, promising to have Yushan exact their vengeance against the boy at the Dark Gold Arena. Meanwhile, Yun Xiao thanks Lord Xin for his services, declaring that he only reclaimed what was his. The boy bids everyone farewell for now. Before flying off for good, he suddenly remembers something, popping out his head through the battleship. Yun Xiao mischievously thanks Wang Cheng, Cheng Feng, Mo Jia, and Master Bai Li for taking care of him. Generational trolling. Being the idiot that he is, Yang Di's disciple excitedly shouts at his young master Yun to show him some more puzzling stuff the next time they meet, instantly realizing that he effed up. His disappointed father, the family head Wang Mong, shows up beside him, lamenting that they have been dragged into a mess. Bai Li Gongjin lets out an exhausted sigh as Zhou Changfa erupts with killing intent. Xin Pi questions what he is doing, but the martial emperor is consumed with rage to listen, calling upon Wang Mong, Cheng Feng, and Mo Jia. He asks them to explain what Yun Xiao meant. The Mo family's elderly family head insists that he has never seen the boy before and tries to convince Chang Fa that thanking them was just a ploy to turn them against each other. Cheng Feng speaks up as well, backing Mo Jia's conclusion. Zhou Changfa screams out, getting offended by the suggestion that he would fall for such childish ploys, even though it quite literally did, embarrassing himself. The three-star martial emperor doesn't excuse Wang Mong though, as he had a dozen people watching over the Zhou family's compound the entire time. Not refusing that they know Yun Xiao, the Wang family head insists that they only had one dealing with him and nothing else. Going crazy with anger, Chang Fa gets all up in Bai Li Gongjin's face this time, demanding to know what happened with the medicine. The sixth-tier refiner wonders if he is being accused of conspiring with Yun Xiao, getting told that a mere martial lord couldn't have spiked the medicine with countless eyes on him. So, despite his respectable status, Zhou Changfa wants Bai Li Gongjin to tell him what happened. As the latter becomes enraged, Xu Jin steps in to get the former to stop talking. Calming Chang Fa down, he bets Master Bai Li's innocence on his life. Xin Pi tries to make a case for the Supreme Elder, trying to get the sixth-tier refiner to excuse his rash behavior. It seemingly works, as Bai Li Gongjin remarks that he will pretend that Chang Fa said nothing. However, while walking off, the sixth-tier refiner announces that the Alchemist Association will no longer work with the Zhou family, effective immediately. No shot the trolling actually worked. That's why he's the GOAT, the GOAT. Hearing this, the Supreme Elder realizes the grave consequences of what he did in a blind fit of fury. His hatred toward Yun Xiao continues to grow, while the heads of the other three great families celebrate his downfall. Using private sound transmission, Xin Pi attempts to help Chang Fa out by letting him know that there's still a chance to repair his relations with the Alchemist Association. For now, though, as Martial Flame City's actions and strength are beyond even his comprehension, the Shrine Master insists that they leave him alone until Mount Meru's opening. Xin Pi's kindness backfires, though, as the idiotic Supreme Elder replies to his private sound transmission loudly, refusing to stand the disrespect the Zhou family suffered due to Yun Xiao. They really let anyone become a martial emperor. Huh. Annoyed, Xin Pi gives it to Chang Fa straight, questioning if a single incident is more important to him than a several millennia-old lineage to him. He thinks that such a troublesome occurrence right before Mount Meru's opening isn't a coincidence, but rather a deliberate action by a superpower who could even afford to toy with the Green Phoenix battleship. If the Zhou family wants to destroy themselves by trying to compete against such a foe, then Xin Pi won't stop them. However, if they interrupt or mess up Mount Meru's opening for him, he vows to kill them all himself. Finally, Chang Fa contains himself, deciding to wait till the Dark Gold Arena duel and have Yushan destroy Yun Xiao. Xin Pi is fine with this arrangement and advises the Supreme Elder to be careful, who thanks him for it. As Chang Fa vows to wash away this embarrassment in 7 days, Xin Pi encourages him to earn back some respect for for the Dusk Flame Empire's nobility. The Shrine Master is about to say something about Yun Xiao too, but stops mid-sentence, instructing Chang Fa to just keep his guard up instead, since things won't be so simple from now on. Afterward, Xin Pi orders Zhu Jin and Ao Di Jia to mobilize all resources and manpower to upkeep Hai Sun City. He then turns over to Mo Zhai, Wang Mong, and Cheng Feng, telling them to keep their guards up and work together. Walking away with Zhu Jin and Ao Di Jia, Xin Pi makes an announcement for all families and sects to hear. Whoever causes trouble before Mount Meru's opening will be killed without exception. One of the martial artists present speaks up, complaining that the martial emperors only know how to bully the weak like them, and couldn't do anything to Li Yun Xiao. Infuriated, Xin Pi sends a death beam in his direction, beheading the martial artist. The Shrine Master wonders if anyone else has anything to say, hearing not even a single peep. With this, he orders everyone to scram. Reintroduced with the terror of royalty, the martial artists run for their lives. Elsewhere, Ding Ling praises Yun Xiao for showcasing that he is brave and wise by not fearing a martial emperor and manipulating thousands of people. As she celebrates not misjudging him, Yu Rong notes that even the cheap tactic the boy used before leaving ended up having the major effect of cutting the Alchemist Association's ties with the Zhou family. Their reputation already tanked due to the incident, so a divide is bound to happen between them and the other three great noble families. Finally, Yu Rong accepts Yun Xiao as a capable youth possessing great cultivation, intellect, and strategy, who will sooner or later become a certified menace. Nearby, Xinru asks his uncle if he thinks that Zhou Yushan will win his duel against Yu Xiao in 7 days. Hearing this, Yuan Ji Yulin starts comparing the two warriors. Zhou Yushan not only possesses an exceptional physique and a shallow emotion body, but he has also received the favor and teachings of the legendary emotion-severing mountain. After emerging from seclusion, Yushan will almost be unrivaled among the Dusk Flame Empire's younger generation. On the other hand, Li Yun Xiao withstood a hit from Zhou Changfa, even if his own strength was involved in surviving the residual energy alone. As for his backing, Yue Ji Yulin thinks that the force behind Martial Flame City might just be stronger than the emotion-severing mountain. Lil Bro is clueless. Ignoring all that, Xinru takes issue with his uncle, calling Yushan unrivaled among the younger generation. He questions if either warrior can compare to his 24 Bridge Moon Knight, a thought that Yue Ji Yulin doesn't entertain at all. The uncle then notes the downfalls of the two warriors. He thinks that Yun Xiao's rashness might get him killed before he fully matures, while Yushan's limited abilities won't be able to fully realize the emotion-severing mountain's teachings. Qinruyu disagrees with his assessment of Zhou Yushan, as the emotion-severing mountain's emotion-neglecting heavenly Tom is supposed to be a pinnacle existence. Be that as it may, Yue Ji Yulin tells his nephew that the heaven-gathering sex void scripture that he cultivates is definitely stronger. Since Shinryu also has the Heavenly Jewel Gate's 24 Bridge Moon Knight, his uncle is convinced that he is the strongest among the southern region's younger generation. Hearing this praise, the Crown Prince smiles, revealing that he has already mastered techniques belonging to two of the three great sects. Shinryu is only missing the emotion-severing mountain's emotion-neglecting heavenly Tom, but they kept rejecting him. So he looks forward to seeing Zhou Yushan after he comes out of seclusion, wanting to see just how strong the technique is more than ever. Yue Ji Yulin stops his nephew right there, insisting that techniques aren't important. Rather, raising one's strength is the only way forward. These two giving Dumb and Dumber a run for their money. Meanwhile, Yun Xiao returns to the Supreme High Palace, noting that the soul chi within a 300-mile radius has been sucked dry by the World God Monument. He always intended to use the place temporarily, but it's running out of resources a little too fast. Yun Xiao wonders if he should start hunting the heaven-gathering sect's treasures, considering their location should be the richest in terms of soul chi. However, the Chi Feng kid would have entered the 8 Desolation realm already, meaning that Yun Xiao can't threaten them with a self-destructing Green Phoenix battleship like he did with the Zhou family. So, for once, the reincarnated soul gives up on his thieving ways. Meanwhile, Qinru Shuwei has adorably fallen asleep while clinging to his arm. He tries to free himself, but the grip of a maiden in love is too hard to break. Asking teacher Lu to help him out, the boy complains about the strange creatures known as girls. After all, falling asleep while standing shouldn't be possible for normal beings. Unbeknownst to him, Yu Shang is pouting at the sight almost as if she's annoyed by Qin Ru Shue's presence. Regardless, she takes her off Yun Xiao's hands. Finally free, the reincarnated soul summons the world god monument from his sea of consciousness and crashes it into the ground. With regrowth, this spatial Yuan artifact takes form as a giant tree, taking root. Brimming with excitement, Yun Xiao prepares to drive the Green Phoenix battleship straight into the world god monument. Suddenly, Yun Shang rains on the brat's parade. As the battleship charges forward, Teacher Luo questions if the boy is actually dumb or if he is just playing dumb, making him burst out sweating. Yun Shang stares at Yun Xiao, her eyes filled with bloodlust. The reincarnated soul pretends that he didn't hear her clearly, making Teacher Luo realize that he has been playing dumb all this time, just like she thought. Get off her case, lady. He is married to the grind. Pinching his ear, Yun Shang questions Yun Xiao if he really likes Qin Ru Shuwei or Mengwu. Not wanting to hear both as an answer, the boy insists that they are both still students of Ji Yalan Academy, so it's forbidden for them to date. He mischievously remarks that Yun Shang is making him blush by saying such a thing, causing her to rage. She shouts at Yun Xiao to quit his bad acting, prompting him to run away. Being above all inside the world god monument, he uses substitution jutsu to leave a doll in his place to get its ear pinched. With the boy gone, Yun Shang tells Qin Ru Shuwei to get up. Pushing her hair aside, the blushing girl innocently asks Teacher Luo if she really thinks that Yun Xiao likes her. Yun Shang tells Qin Ru Shuwei that the boy wouldn't have taken such great risks to save her if he didn't. However, she just worries that Teacher Luo hesitates to finish the sentence, only finding the courage to do it after the girl insists. The lady just worries that her status as a princess might result in her love not coming to fruition. A cold breeze blows as Qin Ru Shuwei clenches her heart in agony. Sometime later, Yun Xiao arrives in an empty area of the world god monument, having just taken a look around Square Inch Mountain. Thankfully, all three heavenly groups have increased their strengths tremendously. Training exceptionally hard, the refiners inside Square Inch Mountain have also broken through. However, Mengwu and Mengbai still haven't woken up. At the rate Yuan Qi is being consumed in the world god monument, Yu Xiao worries that it might dry out soon. Instead of providing it to the refiners in Square Inch Mountain, the reincarnated soul pours 1 billion middle-tier primordial stones into the mysterious stream at his feet, fulfilling his promise to a certain someone. In fact, Yu Xiao is probably the only one in Tianwu who can use such a large number of primordial stones to enrich the land for this person. Ooh, who's the girl? Nah, who am I kidding? With this, the reincarnated soul brings out the entity that will give him Tai Mystic Qi, the Kungno Divine Tree, reborn. As soon as Yun Xiao plants it into the stream of primordial stones below, the sapling plops open, quickly growing into a sapling and beyond. And so, the Kungno Divine Tree takes root at the World God Monument's Soul Qi source. 7 days later, in the cave where Mengbai slumbers, the cocoon surrounding him bursts open. Xiao Qingwang leads Li Chunyang, and the Sky Locust sects Nung Fei Chun to the cocoon, having found it after sensing some suspicious qi. Baffled by the intense fluctuations surrounding it, Chunyang wonders when such an item appeared in Square Inch Mountain. Nung Fei Chun thinks that he should ask our young master Yun, as he probably brought it there. Give this man a cookie. Suddenly, the qi fluctuations surrounding the cocoon start going wild, taking the form of a butterfly. The residual energy makes its way toward the 3 geezers, who instantly protect themselves with barriers. However, they are shocked upon seeing what it does. Despite not being that powerful, the cocoon's energy somehow starts corroding their true qi at a ridiculous rate too. Suddenly, the cocoon completely explodes, revealing Mengbai. Seeing the kid who helped them do random chores around the manors emerge as a naked butterfly, the 3 geezers' jaws fall to the floor. Meanwhile, Mengbai slowly opens his eyes, questioning where he is. Upon seeing Xiao Qingwang, Li Chunyang, and Nung Fei Chun though, the kid starts floating around excitedly. His eyes almost pop out of his skull though when he realizes that his naked body is exposed to everyone. Fortunately, the holy light of censorship prevents everyone from catching a case. Since the geezers aren't like Drake, they look away out of shame anyway. Xiao Qingwang throws his cape at Mengbai to cover himself for now, only for his wings to erode away. The old men can't believe this sight, especially since Xiao Qingwang's cape was woven from fire rat fur, making it especially resistant to fire and water-based corrosion. Not understanding what's going on, Mumbai starts crying. He begs the geezers to help him, being very afraid to die. Chunyang tells Mumbai to calm down and pull his aura back in, but the kid doesn't know how to. Right then, Yun Xiao shows up, instructing the dummy to mine his Dantian and resolve himself. Mumbai excitedly looks toward his master, who tells him to remember the first lesson he learned. Since the toxic area surrounding him is his own, the kid has to try not to push it away. Instead, Mumbai has to sense, accept, absorb, and cleanse his aura to make use of it. Listening to Yun Xiao's instructions, the disciple closes his eyes. Calm and focused, Mumbai pulls the butterfly wings back into his body and finally gets to wear his clothes again. He then flexes his muscles, feeling stronger than ever before. Yun Xiao instantly puts Mumbai to the test and brings down the spike on him, forbidding him from dodging. The kid obeys and unleashes his wild energy, eroding the stone away. Looking on, Chunyang and Xiao Qingwang realize that Mumbai is releasing highly corrosive true qi, even though his power isn't that great. So, defending against it would require many times the amount of qi normally needed to fend off an attack of that level. Yun Xiao compliments his disciple, revealing that his poison body has finally awakened. From now on, Mumbai's cultivation speed will increase exponentially and surpass most. Moreover, despite being only a martial master right now, his power will enable him to defeat even a great martial master. Hearing this, the boy starts jumping around in joy. After all, he went up an entire realm just by sleeping. While Mumbai looks forward to sleeping again, the three geezers are disheartened. Unable to understand how both Yun Xiao and his disciple disappeared for a few days and magically returned one realm higher. As if to rub salt in their wounds, the reincarnated soul gives Mumbai a lecture about the never-ending road of martial arts in front of them. Wanting to skip this dialogue, Xiao Qingwang reminds Yun Xiao that it's been 7 days and wonders if he's going to meet up with the Zhou family. Of course, the boy has all intention of heading there soon, worried that they will have a trap laid out at the arena. Chunyang suggests that Yun Xiao leave the Dusk Flame Empire and find a rich resource to cultivate in seclusion, returning only when he can defeat the Zhou family. However, the boy refuses to go to such lengths for some random, unimportant ability. Still, Chunyang is worried that Yun Xiao won't be able to leave, even if he wins, considering the Zhou family has managed to stay afloat for many millennia. Xiao Qingwang agrees with him, only for Yun Xiao to ignore them both. Announcing that he will just blow up Hai Sun City with the Green Phoenix battleship, Yun Xiao heads out. Appearing at the Supreme High Palace, the reincarnated soul reunites with the mythic cloud-shaking thunder-roaring beast, who already possesses the strength of a peak martial grandmaster. Yun Xiao promises to look for materials to help him break through the Six Directions realm barrier. Once he has some time, he then pulls back the World God Monument in its portable form, only for Duan Yue to suddenly pop his head out of it and question who will help him break the seal if Yun Xiao dies in battle. Smacking him back inside, the boy announces that Duan Yue can remain sealed forever if he dies. The old man wants Yun Xiao to call for him if he's about to die, promising to save his rear end in case such a time comes. Proclaiming that no one in the southern region can kill him, the reincarnated soul looks back at his pet, who has gained into a new form, to look cooler than ever before. Pikachu if he locked in and became Raichu. And so, Yun Xiao rides his demon beast into battle to stun everyone who lays eyes on them. Meanwhile, in Hai Sun City, Yun Xiao's humiliation of the Zhou family has become the talk of the town. Since someone dared to challenge one of the four great families for the first time in many millennia, anyone not talking about it was seen as dumb and uncool. Martial Flame City's reputation reached an all-time high as well, catching the attention of countless powers. As such, the day of the battle excited the people of Hai Sun City more than any festival or celebration. Some ended up starting betting centers for it, instantly succeeding in their business ventures. At one of these centers, Jia Rong currently stands, betting 10,000 middle-tier primordial stones on Zhou Yushan's victory. Dang, I really lost his best ear. The refiner sings countless praises for Yushan in front of all, shutting down anyone who tries to compliment Yun Xiao. Jia Rong even tells everyone that the boy used a 6th-tier ancient soul talisman to deflect Zhou Changfa's attack, citing it as the only reason he managed to survive. After he sings a few more praises for Yushan, everyone gets convinced by his words and starts betting on Yushan. One of the bettors wonders how he knows all this, prompting Jia Rong to reveal that he got his information from the Four Poles Commerce Guild. Being one of the 7 main commerce guilds, it is known as the #1 commerce guild for information trade, and any information obtained from them is extremely trustworthy, but just as expensive. Jia Rong then brings out a booklet, revealing that it has all kinds of info on Li Yun Xiao and Yushan. He directs them to Royal City Road, where a limited 1,000 of these booklets are being sold for 1,000 middle-tier primordial stones each. Falling for the shenanigans, all the bettors run to buy the booklet, convinced that it contains valuable information from the Four Poles Commerce Guild. As Jia Rong sneaks off, he gets caught by Ding Ling and gets shamed for betting on the enemy. The refiner breathes a sigh of relief upon realizing that it's the young mistress, yet still tries to act like he is just there to earn a bit of pocket money by betting against Li Yun Xiao since he will lose. However, Ding Ling knows all about his scheme. By convincing others to bet on Yushan, the refiner can use another identity to bet on Li Yun Xiao elsewhere and make a huge sum. Jia Rong still continues to act clueless, even teasing Ding Ling using the boy's name. However, he soon reveals that all this is a big scheme by Li Yun Xiao himself, even down to using the Four Poles Commerce Guild. Worried for the reincarnated soul, Ding Ling reveals some incredible details about Yushan, stunning Jia Rong. Collecting himself, the refiner tells the girl to have faith in Li Yun Xiao. After all, he has never lost and will never lose, no matter the opponent. Seeing a subordinate shows such pure respect and trust for his master, Ding Ling finally feels at ease. Lilith's professional glazing actually did something for once. Meanwhile, at Royal City Road, the Four Poles Commerce Guild's booklets sell out instantly. Selling them are none other than Chun Zun and Han Bai. Disguised, of course. It fully doubled down, promising to sell more new information the next day and beyond, without repeating anything. In the crowd, Luo Yunshang acts like a Fujiashi. Turns out, the very real booklets have Yun Xiao and Yushan written as lovers turned rivals. Some question why the information contains BL instead of analysis. Getting told that understanding the causes and effects of the battle is key for deducing the result of the match. As Chun Zun and Han Bai try to overplay their part, a few people start to leave. The two ruthless businessmen tell them to come back tomorrow, revealing that they will be selling originals and replicas of equipment used by Yun Xiao and Yushan. Meanwhile, at what's left of the Zhou family's mansion, Chan Fa and the others are enraged upon reading the booklets. After all, they not only state that Yushan and Yun Xiao are lovers, but also defame the former by saying that he became a plaything and boy toy of the Emotion-Severing Mountains elders in order to learn their techniques. Well, that's one way to ruin a reputation, since this means that ignorant nobodies are using the Four Poles Commerce Guild's name to spread such rumors. Chan Fa gives orders to exterminate their entire families and to send news of this to the Four Poles sect. A round of boring discussion follows, where they all talk about Yushan's assured victory, as well as about the ones backing Yun Xiao. Finally, Zhou Yan Biao brings up the only one in the younger generation who can match Yushan, whose exceptional talent is something even Chang Fa can't figure out, Xin Ruyu. In the end, they decide to restrict the actions of the Zhou family members to avoid causing more trouble, wanting to settle things once and for all at the arena. Elsewhere at the Dusk Flame Imperial Palace, the Crown Prince reads the booklets, finding them quite amusing. Yuan Ji Yulin thinks they are rubbish, but he understates the content dearly. Despite the R-rated content, though, Xin Ruyu is entertained by Yushan's public humiliation. At the same time, he decides to put 5 million middle-tier primordial stones on his victory. However, Yuan Ji Yulin advises against it, citing Yun Xiao's mysteriousness as grounds for doubt when judging the match's outcome. The Crown Prince decides to heed his uncle's advice and acts cautiously, betting only 3 million primordial stones on Yushan's victory instead. Just like that, the day of the battle arrives and thousands come running to the dark gold arena. Until next time, my Pookies.